I didn't say last time, one of my best friends is Dominican, and I can't remember exactly where she's from, but she was like, anyways, yes, one of my best friends. So
You have good taste in friends then.
thank you.
Get dessert and fries with me.
It's 3 a.m.
You think McDonald's gives a shit?
McDonald's is so far away.
Yeah, you're right. And traffic is pretty terrible right now.
I had to rewatch the show because there's some part that I wanted to reconnect. But in terms of narrative, one thing that really struck me is how we, the audience, we get part even with text. The texting is so important into the storytelling, and how that happened in terms of direction for you, and also for you as an actress, because you have to show your text and then it have an emotion to
Yeah.
transmit to us.
Texting is so hard in movies and TV. It was really hard because we didn't have any money, and so our days went by so fast, and it was like so hard to like a lot of the texting we actually saved for post-production, and we'd get like these like reshoots where we'd like film in a random place with like a kind of green screen thing and just like put like fake hands doing it.
Yeah.
I think that it really is all about I really care about lining up the text with the shots of like Lily's eyes. Like I think the way we would film it is I would kind of, sometimes you would know, but sometimes there was so much texting that I would kind of shout out behind the camera what she was texting and just let her do that. So I'd say, all right, text this, and then you'd watch it, because it's so important to me to like have that feel super connected, and not just to be information, but to like texting is like a massive part of life. And my favorite thing in the world is watching my partner text. She's like, I've never like I didn't think to like do it in Hal Harper, but the next thing that I make, she has this like texting face. So she'll like do something with her tongue, but she also will like do something with her, like she's so crazy. Have you ever seen that with Addison?
with her.
She's like, she'll like go like like it's the craziest thing. But I love watching people text, and it's such a big part of life. So I always, everything I've made, texting has been a big part of the that I've made. Yeah.
As an actress, how do you create emotion? Because in the first episode you have a fight, and then you have to text, and then you have to text your brother, but you are in the middle of the breakup, but you have to put emotion in what happened after the text.
Yeah, there's a fine line, because I also don't want to seem like I'm oftentimes with texting, I think, or with something that's happening off camera, kind of a director or they want to see like a really big emotion.
Yeah.
And because it can be hard to, when you're looking at things, I could be having a panic attack looking at something on my phone, but no one would know.
But the camera would.
But the camera knows.
Exactly my point.
But the shots are specific, and I think like the amount of time you hold on someone's face when they're receiving information is also. So yeah, I mean, like I've kind of forgot how much texting is a big part of it, but I think like he would say the text out loud to me off camera sometimes, or sometimes he would just say these are the words that you're saying back and forth, and just I would just kind of have like take my time and take my own cues to react however I would react. And I liked that, obviously I wasn't being told to like amp up my facial expressions in order to relay, oh my God, you're upset that you got that text message, because no one ever goes,
right.
Exactly.
But I will say my favorite, because I edit the show, and my favorite part of editing was picking those moments, like the segments of Lily in the bathtub, like staring off or looking at her text. Like those are my favorite parts of the show, because her eyes do so much without, like you can't tell from this zoom what her eyes are doing, but the camera, that's what's so amazing about film and TV, is you can really get in there, and it's like the age-old like filmmaking lesson of what you see before and after is everything. And so seeing a certain text with a certain expression it's just playing with that is the best part of filmmaking to me.
One of the things that we rarely talk in TV and even in movies is the relationship with siblings. how we get along with siblings. But what I love about this show, it's how you manage to travel in time to tell one story. And I wonder how difficult, because you also wrote the story, how difficult it is for you when you have like this blank page and imagine a story and then travel in time. How difficult or easy it is for you to tell a story that makes sense for me as an audience, but in different times.
It's difficult and it's easy. It's both. What I love, the reason why the show is about siblings is because I'm endlessly fascinated with two people who have so much shared history and pain, but they don't need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's there, and maybe they can't talk about it. And going back in time, I think the difficulty was I don't know. It all broke open for me when I realized I just wanted to go back to the year that they came together, because it was super simple. It was we're in this present time, and this is the year where they're gonna come apart.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna go back to the year. What was the year when they came together? And then you had to go to the year why all this is happening in the first place, the traumatic year. But it was super. It got really easy when I realized, oh, this is in the past. This is the year that Dad woke up and decided we're gonna come together, and in between all that is Dad realizing how problematic certain things were and all that. But that's what simplified it to me, and what was helpful in telling the audience the story is that kind of thesis of they came together, and this is the moment when they're coming apart. But we got to go back to that time when they came together to understand why it's unhealthy.
I mean, I think people are really kind of desperate to see their own families and their own relationships at the forefront of a television show. I think oftentimes it's about one singular person or it's about a romantic relationship, but the intimacy of siblings, you're right. I mean, it really is often pushed to the side, or it's like
or comedy relief. It's basically a comedy relief usually.
Yeah,
the fun sibling.
Right, and I think there's just like the word intimacy comes to mind. It's like this person that you share the same DNA, and you have the same parents, and you're two completely separate people, but somehow I feel like Hal and Harper almost feel like twins to me.
Mm-hmm.
They could have shared the womb at the same time. And I also think that they're each other's soulmates. And I think that's so special. I have two sisters and I'm a middle child, but I feel very independent from them. I feel they have their my one sister's a nurse and my one sister's a school teacher, and then I'm an actor, and I feel I do say I was really the black sheep of my family, because I just took a completely different path from everyone else in my family. And I think sometimes I was jealous was jealous of people who have a twin, because like I really I wish I could go through life with someone standing directly next to me. And I think Hal and Harper have that. And I think it's a really beautiful, like, I want to say niche, but it's not. Like, a lot of people have siblings, but I think it's something that people crave. I see it on TikTok, weirdly, like this brother-sister relationships that, people post their experiences with their sibling, and then the comments are like, oh, I wish I had an older brother, or I wish I had an older sister. And there's sort of just this desire to see that relationship. And I think the show's special because it really takes that, what people I think are looking for, and puts it front and center. And the romantic relationships are the side characters. So, because they're the ones who are having the intimate experience with one another. And I just think it's an incredibly interesting angle to explore. And I also don't have a brother, so I really enjoyed the experience of having a fictional one, but then also creating sort of a spiritual brother-sister relationship with Cooper, which I feel lucky to have now in my life for forever.
If I'm honest, I kinda envy your relationship as brothers, because I grew up we are six, but we didn't grow up together. I grew up with a younger sister, And I never had the chance to have a fight of that kind of relationship that I need my space, that we're going back to home. We need to sell this. We need to deal with the house. We need to deal with mom and dad. I never had that kind of relationship with her because she moved also out of the country from Dominican Republic. She moved to New York. And watching the show, it just connecting with something that I never had.
Yeah.
And that was making the show so important for me. And I wondered, how do you picture that relationship? Because before it never existed for you. But how do you build that bond between brothers and sister?
Yeah, I have a sister who's 6 years younger than me, who I had to have a big conversation with pretty recently, where she was like dealing with how we're not at all like Hal Harper. And I had to have that conversation with her that like Hal Harper came out of thin air as a way for me to deal with certain parts of myself, and at some point I realized they're going to really help other people see parts of themselves. And I think why I'm interested in this extremely close, codependent, unhealthy but beautiful relationship between these two siblings is I'm really interested in this very, very striking shared history and shared history of pain, and that they have without ever talking about it. And going into that and exploring it, and also just like having someone who is able to provide unconditional love and being able to have a conversation about what is like the healthy expression of that unconditional love, and then what is the boundary that needs to come with that, and also like how do you dive into something and also show that you're not. It's something about not being alone also. And I think that like I was thinking about, have you ever seen the movie Into the Spider-Verse?
Of course.
So that movie to me is like a big inspiration for Alan Harper in this weird way, where like you have this introduction of this theme of you're not alone. Like you have all these people who have been through what you've been through, and it's so striking and so poignant. And very healing to like watch that movie, and because you feel like someone out there has experienced what you've experienced, and to some extent we've all experienced what we've all experienced, and there's that new show out that I've started watching, Pluribus. We are all one in some certain way, but that individuating is also a big part of life, and it's a struggle. And but yeah, I don't know if that answers. I don't even know.
Yes. Totally. Yeah, of course. Love it. Thank you so much, guys. I don't know what's going to happen with the show in the future, but this is an outstanding show.
Thank you so much.
Just congratulations. And I love the writing. I love the directing. The acting is superb. So thank you for this.
Appreciate it, Ruben. Thank you.
Bye-bye.